Welcome back to Math. Today, Module 3, Lesson 16, Exploring Part to Whole Relationships. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Think of it maybe as word problems with fractions. Well, let's see what we got. We have one ribbon. All right. The piece shown below is 1/3 of a whole. If it's 1/3 of a whole, this is 1/3. I'll put that on there. So I need to make another third, right? So that would be 2/3, and then another third, and this would be 3/3, right? And that would all make one whole. So we completed our drawing to show the whole thing. And if we wanted to, we could go ahead and highlight it all the same color if that makes you feel better. Let's go down to the next one. We have one ribbon. The piece that's shown is 4/5 of the whole. So I can go 1, 2, so this is 1/5 here, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. This says it's 4/5 of the whole. So how many more fifths do we need to add to it? Yes, that's right. We need to add one more fifth in here to make it 5/5. So as you can see, we have 1/5, 2, 3, 4/5. That's what it said. It was 4/5. That was 4/5. But how do we show the whole? By adding one more fifth, right? So we added this fifth to it to make it 5/5. So this would be 5/5 or one whole. Our next one, it says we have two ribbons, A and B. They're telling us this one and this one, okay? A and B. We have two ribbons. I'm just going to draw them out. I'm going to call this A. And it says 1/3 of A is equal to all of B. So I'm going to have, here's my third, right? Is equal to all of B. So then how big is B going to be? B is going to be this big, right? And we cut B into how many pieces? 5. So this is B. That's our 5/5. It's one whole, which is equal to 1/3 of A. Okay, does that make sense? And that's the way you draw this out. Pretty easy. Now if we go down to our last one right here, it says we have three ribbons, C, D, and E. C is half the length of D. All right, so we have C, and that's half the length of D. So C is half the length of D, right? Half the length of D. Here's C, and here's D. Said E is twice as long as D. E is twice as long as D. So I'm going to copy and paste. Now I need to do what? Make one more copy of that. And E is now twice as long as D. And C is half of D, right? So we could say, if we were adding them all together, we could say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 halves, if we called that half. right? Or we could say that we have 7 units. Does that make sense? So that's just a little way of drawing this out. Okay, let's go on to our next problem. Half of Robert's piece of wire is equal to 2/3 of Maria's. Half of Robert's wire. So, half of Robert's wire. So I'm going to make Robert's wire. I'm going to call this half. Okay? So I'm going to draw another piece just like it. And then Maria's wire. So Maria's wire is 1/3 here, 1/3 here. It says half of Robert's piece of wire, that means half of this wire, is equal to 2/3 of Maria's wire. So Maria, we need to add in another what? Third, that's right. So Maria's wire would be this. Now Robert's wire is that. The total length of wire is 10 feet. So how do we do this problem? So we're wanting to know how much longer is this? So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 units, and all 7 units are going to equal 10 feet. So 10/7, this is 10/7 of a foot longer. And if we took that and put it into this, we could have our 10 here. Our 7 goes on the outside. The top number always goes on the inside of the house. 7 on the outside. How many 7s are in 1? 0. How many 7s are in 10? 1. We have to borrow. Make it 3. So this would be 1 and 3/7. Because the 3 is our remainder. That goes on top. And our 7 is our units, right? 7 is our units. So it's 1 foot and 3/7 right here, and it equals 1 and 3/7. And if we counted and said this is 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, right? But we need another 3 feet to make it 10, right? We need another 3 feet to make this 10. So we have our 3/7, right? And if each one of these is 3/7, now we can count the 3's, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, plus 3, 18, and 21, right? So we have 21/7. How many 7s are in 21? 3. So this 3 right here is right here, and that's what makes it 10 feet. Okay, does that make sense? So this one is actually 1 foot and 3/7 longer. So Robert's is 1 foot and 3/7 longer than Maria's. Let's go to our next problem. Okay, it says half of Sarah's wire is equal. Well, I'm going to make Sarah. And it says half of her wire, right? Half of her wire is 2/5 of Daniel's. So I'm going to make this half 2/5. So this would be 1/5, and this would be 1/5. So this would be 2/5, right? Okay, so with Daniel's, we have 2/5 here is equal to 1/2. That's what it says. Half of Sarah's wire is equal to 2/5. Here's our 2/5 right here. And that's our half, right? And it says, now Chris has 3 times as much as Sarah. As you can see, it says Chris has 3 times as much as Sarah. This is Sarah's, and this is Chris's. What's going to be our unit for this? Well, all of it, it says, is equal to 6 feet. All of this together is 6 feet, right? But what's our unit number for this? Well, it's, if we cut it into fifths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we have 21 is our unit, so we have 21, and 21 units is how long? 6 feet, right? So we have 6 feet, 21 units is equal to 6 feet. Can we make this number smaller? Can we simplify this number? We could by dividing by what number? If you look up on your multiplication chart, what number has a 6 and a 21 in it?
3.
Oh, good move. 3. You're right. So, 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 21 divided by 3 is 7, right? So it's 2/7. It says how much or how long is Sarah's wire in feet? Sarah's wire is 4 units of the 21, right? So we should be able to figure this out. We're going to multiply the 2/7 by 4. When we do this, here's the way we do it. We put a 1 below the 4, and then we can multiply the 2 times 4, and that's going to be 8. And this 7 times 1 equals 7, because 7's our unit now. Our unit has turned from 21 units into 7, right? So it's 8/7. What is that in feet? Well, the top number goes on the inside of the house. 7 goes on the outside. How many 7s are in 8? 1. Take our 7, subtract, and it leaves us with 1, right? So our answer is 1 foot. 1 foot. And how much left over? 1 is our remainder, and our unit is in 7. So our answer is 1/7. 1 and 1/7. That's how long Sarah's wire is in feet. 1 and 1/7. Well, I hope that this was helpful. I love math.